was and why I was the way I was. And I started overcoming some of those things, started becoming aware of some of my own blind spots.
So what do you mean by blind spots though? Because like the way that I think about it is blind spots in a car where I'm just trying to switch lanes, you can't see the car behind you, right?
That's exactly it. So, and I'm glad you use that analogy. I open with that analogy. I go, when we're driving, we're checking our blind spots every time. We
Yeah.
don't want to get hit. But in our lives, we're afraid to even ask what our blind spots are. Blind spots are things that others can see about us and we can't see through ourselves until we start becoming aware to look for them.
Okay, so give us an example of that, if you don't
Well,
mind. Yeah.
let me ask. Okay, so there, a couple of years ago, I asked my inner circle
Yeah.
one key question.
Mm-hmm.
That was, how do I show up when I walk into a room? And they kind of chuckle. They go, you sure you want to know this? I go, yeah, I do. And they go, well, you show up as a pompous ass.
Oh my.
And I go, okay, tell me more about that. I didn't discount it. I didn't start deflecting it. I wanted to know more. So I said, tell me more. They go, listen, Likky, you dress really well. Again, right now, this is COVID attire, this t-shirt right now, but usually I'm dressed up, right? And I walk into a room and I'm not smiling. Now, tell me, Joe, am I smiling right now?
No, not really.
Okay, so see, and I think I am smiling.
Oh yeah.
So when you're all dressed up, you walk into a room
Yeah.
and you're not smiling, you look like a pompous ass. You feel like you want to own the room. And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that was a big eye opener. So how I perceived the room to see me was totally opposite of what the room saw me as.
Okay.
That's a huge blind spot.
Interesting. Okay, so basically it's that perception of yourself, right? It's like saying, "Hey, look, I'm this confident person, but in reality, I'm just this pompous asshole," right? Is that kind of where it's leading to?
Well, that's, it's so now the interesting part is, okay,
Yeah.
so if somebody thought that I was pompous
Yeah.
when I walked into a networking environment,
Mm-hmm.
they probably wouldn't approach me. And if I approached them, they
Mm-hmm.
already had this guard up
Okay.
about he's pompous. Why do I want to talk to him?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine your first impression makes such a big difference.
Okay.
But now that I'm aware of that, I walk into a room, all smiles,
Yeah.
and you know what? It's such a nicer room now.
Is it? Okay.
And even during COVID, it's a nicer room because
Mm-hmm.
even in the Zoom environment, people just drop their guards. They don't have to think that I'm pompous because once they think that that's the way I show up, that's the way they treat me.
Mm-hmm.
So then it drops.
Interesting. Okay. So, but then in order to recognize that, you kind of have to ask people first, like, what do you think of me?
Well, it's up to you. Do you
Okay.
want to know? So my next question I ask leaders or individuals is, will you ask that question to your inner circle?